Hi, I'm Nancy West. I'm with indepthnh.org, and I'm here at 49 Donovan Street in Concord to cover the Site Evaluation Committee meeting today. On their way, as we speak, are at least 10 citizens from the North Country who will tell the Site Evaluation Committee exactly what the Northern Pass transmission line will mean in their lives.
Please swear in this panel of witnesses.
You all raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
You've just witnessed a video giving you a tour of the proposed Northern Pass transmission line entering the U.S. at Hallstream in Pittsburgh, passing through parts of Clarksville and Stewartstown, and proceeding into the Wagnerwood Lock in Dixville. Our goal here is to educate you on this route, its effects on the natural beauty and loss of landscape, and the negative impacts to any future development, especially the very important tourism industry. Tourism may well be the only serious industry left in the North Country. There are questions on many fronts as to how the Northern Pass projects would serve the public interests of the people of the state of New Hampshire.
But a lot of people are kind of holding their breath to find out what's going to happen. You don't want to just keep investing somewhere that your kids are not going to live there, and your grandkids, and so it's hard to know. This is not electricity that's needed. That's been established. That's why they can't use eminent domain. This is all for-profit stuff. It's greed. They've had a different experience than I've had, because I don't see how you can impact so negatively on an environment when they could just bury it. And what they say, it's too expensive to bury it. So why doesn't the governor say that's the cost of doing business? That's what should be said. That's what the governor should be saying.
My family has been on Indian Stream Road, Tabor Road actually, since 1890s. We don't make a lot of money here, but we take care of the land. And we think we have a right to keep the scenery as it is. This above ground power line, we're very much opposed to.
You left that meeting with the understanding of the Northern Pass that the road would not be closed.
That's right. No permanent road closures. They said one lane would always be open. Yes, they said they had a large grate if they needed to dig up the whole road, cross the road. They had a large grate that could set in place that even a large tractor trailer could drive over. They said there'd be no problem. Brought up at these previous hearings that there would be some pretty long-term closures, especially while the streams are involved, which there are 3 streams fairly close to me, one right at the end of my driveway that would require a 4 to 6 week permanent closure of my driveway. Nothing in and nothing out, including me. If I have a 4 to 6 week complete closure there, there'll be no ambulance, no fire, no mail, no anything. And another thing that I have a problem with is I've got 2 grandchildren that for at least part of the project won't be able to go to school. I don't know what the answer is to that, but they're 9 and 12 years old, kind of young to drop out.
We're not able to get to your farm for a 4 to 6 week time period. How would that impact you in terms of your income from your milk pickup?
It would kind of knock a hole in my income. but even more than that, it's hard to predict it. There's a lot of other aspects involved. I mean, if you can't get feed in,
Right.
then your cows don't produce. And if they don't produce for any period of time, they dry up and then they won't produce.
Right.
Even when you can get feed in. And if I can't get everything in that I pack, then I can't winter it. So, you know, they won't, even if they don't produce, they need food to live during the winter.
Sure. So
We use the road every day all summer that the sun shines to get feed in. I mean, right now, we're not done, but we had a bad summer in the early going, so we couldn't start. As far as getting feed in, the cows, there's more to it than just dumping the milk. It's getting the feed in for the winter, and if you don't get the grain in, they lose body condition. They'll dry up, they'll get thin, they won't breed, you won't have the calves the next year so that you can produce again. It's all a chain reaction. There's more to it than meets the eye, actually.
So essentially you're saying that you could be put out of business if
I could be put out of the dairy business. We do have a lot of woodland, we have done a little logging, but you need a road to get your wood out. So that's really not an option either, yeah, it would put us out of business. I probably would beef them all off before they get started.
Martin Murray with the Northern Pass Project, so I can be identified as a spokesperson for the Northern Pass Project. There will be no road closures. We made that very clear, and one of the things I think that was very helpful in terms of today's hearing was hearing Mr. McAllister commit to meet face-to-face with the project, because that's what's really important for the project is we are reaching out to talk to towns, communities, and to individuals about if indeed the construction takes place as we propose, how can we best work together to ensure that access. But to be very clear, there will be no road closures.
Okay, and how about his testimony that he will not be able to get the milk out and get the feed in?
There will be no road closures. He will be able to conduct his business as he does now. We will see to that.
The impact for the North Country of this proposal, this project, is in so many ways that it's hard to quantify. But I think the single most obvious, of course, aspect is the scenery. And there's no way that you can put such a gigantic project down through such beautiful pastoral forests and farmland without marring it, scarring it, disfiguring it, wrecking it. This line is going to come right in the middle of one of the most incredible views of landscape that you can get in New Hampshire. But even if it's buried, a scar is a scar is a scar. So it doesn't make any difference to me whether you have towers on it or not. It still is a huge, wide scar, straight and wide, right across the landscape. We have nothing like that up there. It's a whole new deal. So I think people in the southern tier of the state who are used to seeing all this kind of stuff don't realize what a game changer it is when you're not used to that, and you don't want to be used to it.
The impact that this whole process has had on the community, and it's been very negative in terms of turning people against each other. And there's a very large group that stays together, but it's been an incredibly divisive experience. Painfully divisive experience.
I think the Site Evaluation Committee has heard a lot today, and they will have a lot to think about when they reflect on whether or not to grant a certificate of approval to the Northern Pass transmission line. I'm Nancy West, indepthnh.org.